So another new game we're starting. What if? So basically, going to take something in wrestling history and tweak it on the other side of what if this would have
So
happened.
similar to what Marvel did with the What If series. This is the Dub Marks Wrestling edition of What If.
All right, so here goes the first one for us. Back in May 27th, 1996, an episode of Nitro occurred. Two jobbers named Mauler and Steve Dahl wrestled a random TV match. A couple of minutes later, a guy walks down through the crowd, slick black hair, jeans,
To the most
and a
obvious
vest.
one ever.
Yes. Too thick in his mouth. He gets in the ring and says, "You know why I'm here. You know who I am, but you don't know why I'm here." What if Scott Hall didn't make that trip down the steps? Ultimately, what would be the course of wrestling if the NWO never existed?
So we're going to erase NWO just for Scott Hall not starting it off.
Yes. So the NWO don't exist at all.
Okay. Yeah. Well, yeah.
That's a perfect timeline right there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's what if your screen right now? What if Donald wasn't on the show? We want to get the most obvious what if.
I think Thanos is trying to snap you right now, Donald.
That's me.
You're all pixelated on our end.
I mean, we saw this. Well, at least I saw this being talked about. Whenever Scott passed, people out there what would have been and everything else. Obviously, we don't get the 83 weeks. We don't get the Nitro being on top. We don't get all the people jumping ship. The guaranteed contracts. Like, you don't get none of that.
Dave.
I think if we get Razor Ramon strictly in WWE, WCW doesn't elevate to the heights that it was. I don't think the company selling to Vince McMahon and going under is as big of a deal as it was. Hell, I don't even think they make it to 2002 or whatever year it was that they sold. And I think Razor Ramon would have been that intercontinental guy that never won a WWE championship.
Would you think the Attitude Era, WWF's Attitude Era, would have ever been in play?
I think so. That just came with the time. Something needed to change.
So it would have just kept with that new generation flow.
Yeah.
Something doing.
I mean, ECW still would have been there. So that could have, that was kind of what pushed it. NWO and ECW is what pushed it to becoming Attitude. But
I don't think you get it to the extent that it was.
Mm-mm.
I mean, you take away the shock and awe, you take away the surprises, you take away the fans flipping back and forth from, TNT to USA. I don't think you get the Sable, you know what I mean? Like,
without the NWO, is there a DX?
Yeah.
Ty brings up a good one. Does the screw job still happen?
No. Because Brett's not going for that big money.
Mm-hmm.
Would he have left? Probably, because Vince said, hey, I can't afford to pay your contract.
Yeah.
Does he go and jump ship? No, I think he would probably have left and then came back at some point.
But this actually is a really interesting point here with this, Donald, because without the Attitude, like if the Attitude Era doesn't, take off and save the company basically, because we all heard how many financial troubles WWF had at that time, and that they needed something they put all their eggs in the basket with the Attitude Era and just let it ride to see if it takes off.
Would they still be around?
Yeah.
I mean, you don't get Stone Cold, you don't get The Rock. Like, those dominoes completely change everything. Would they have still been stars? Probably because those are like generational guys that aren't going to come around every day, right? Like Undertaker is still going to be Undertaker regardless if Scott Hall went to WCW or didn't. But I think some of those other guys that got elevated and became the names that they were, you know, there's like, and this is later on down the road, but you know, is there a Batista based on how things change and go? Like,
there'd be no X-Pac.
On WCW side, on WCW side, I was thinking like the older wrestlers would have fizzled out. So would they had to push Goldberg sooner than what they would have?